Hello everyone, my name is Shamanawat and we have Meet Mehta with us who is from IIM Udaipur. And today we are going to do some batein about CAT preparation, about life in IIM, how the journey started. And it's going to be very, very important and insightful for all the students, all the candidates who are looking for MBA as a degree, or they are thinking of doing MBA, or they are in preparation of CAT exam. Yes, Meet. So before IIM Udaipur, how was you as a student?
Yeah. So I will give a quick background about myself. So basically, I've done engineering back in 2021. I graduated, and as a student, I've always been studious, right from 10th and 12th as well. So I scored decent marks, and to be honest, the journey was very difficult one, not an easy one. So when I joined Adani Green right after my engineering, that is the time that I decided, after a couple of years working there, that I need to plan something for my future. And an MBA was an obvious choice because of various reasons. First, being that I interacted with a lot of people during my work within Adani Group who joined in strategy team, working as merger and acquisitions and doing financial modeling, and that created a hype that I should go for an MBA. And I interacted with few of them, and I got to know a lot of things, that how do you get into such type of roles and how an MBA is an easy path to get into those roles. So that is where I decided during my second year of WorkX that I need to prepare for CAT and go ahead for my MBA.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That was quite impressive, in fact. So, at what point you mentioned that yeah, you had some seniors in your job,
Yeah.
and then that's how you got to know that okay, MBA karna is important hai if you want to see yourself in that position. That's where you decided to go for MBA.
Yeah.
एक बड़ा question होता है मीत, it that after your you start your journey, you start your journey in company as a professional, and then you start earning, and then from earning point to coming back to academia is always a big hassle. ये काफी difficult puzzle हो जाता है to solve. So how did you deal with that puzzle?
So basically, if you talk about this way, so yes, it is very true that people who are already earning and doing a decent job, it is very difficult for them to go back to a student zone, study for 2 years, and then again repeat the same journey. But for me, it was completely different part. So right now, the work that I was doing, it was more of a technical kind of a job and something that only engineers can do. But my target was that I want to completely switch the domain, get into strategy roles in the business management side of the company. If you want to work there, you will have to put in those extra years of study, and MBA was the only gateway for that. And that is where I decided that I need to prepare for competitive exams and get into an MBA. So it
Oh,
was a difficult situation for me as well to think about MBA, because I already had couple of years of work experience, and suddenly shifting it from there to being a student preparing for an exam like CAT, it was a roller coaster kind of a ride.
all right. Okay. Just be honest and tell me. Um, did you think that you could crack CAT when you were preparing during those times?
So initially, looking at the competition, I was not very sure that I will be cracking the CAT for the very first time itself. So it was very difficult for me, and I was always in a state of confusion that whether I will be able to make it or not. And that constant pressure was always there on my mind, that I have to score good in CAT or any other competitive exams that I'm giving in order to get a good B school. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think for majority of the aspirants, they are not very sure that they will make through the exams like CAT or other management entrance test, because that confidence only comes once you start preparing, once you
True,
start mock test, and then you can get a fair idea. But
true,
before
true.
preparation, I was not very sure that I would be able to make it.
Yes. And how much was your CAT percentile?
So I scored 97.90 with
Oh, great.
scores of around 94 in verbal, 95 in DILR, and 99 in quant.
Okay. And which one was your favorite when you started?
Yeah.
When you started, like before answering any mock or something, which section was your favorite?
So for me, I love to solve DILR. It was my favorite section of all the three because I used to enjoy solving puzzles, and I used to do Sudoku as well during my free
Okay.
time because
Okay.
that gives you an additional practice of solving puzzles and tackling new problems from DILR especially. And I used to solve it with a challenge. So it was really enjoyable section among all the three. So yeah, I would.
Okay. So you think that with less preparation or concepts, um, DILR makes sense because you don't have much to learn or modify any formula, and you can directly jump onto the question. You just need a good understanding of question, or I would say you should be able to comprehend well what's given in the sentence or read between the lines. Is that something which uh, made DILR easy for you?
So DIR basically, in my opinion, is more of an intuitive kind of thing. The more sets you solve, the more puzzles you tackle, the new ways of solving the problem. So let's say, for example, if I'm solving a set in 25 minutes in an exam, and after the exam, if I'm analyzing it and I can solve it within under 15 minutes, then I have to make an extra effort to see that solution, that why this method is much better and the way I.
Right.
So I think in DILR that is more important rather than just solving the questions. You need to solve a set multiple times with different methods that will give you more insights other than solving more number of sets. So that is what I used to do.
Oh,
Whenever I was solving a DILR set, after solving it completely, I used to check that is there any other way I can solve it more quickly in a better way or by doing less amount of calculation. And if there is a way for it, I would definitely used to try a couple of times after, even after solving the set. So I think that was very important, and this gives you an intuitiveness during exams. So you will get to know that for this kind of questions you need to do this kind of steps. So yeah, that
yeah,
is.
yes, yes, yes. I totally agree with you, Meet. Even
Yeah.
though when I interact with my students, even I suggest to them that it's not about just getting the right answer.
Yeah.
After you, whether your answer is right or wrong, analyze after attempting that question or the test. You should analyze after attempting the test as well. So
Yeah.
that's important. So that's really good. Yeah. Now, Meet. We see today in today's world, there are a lot of options for students. They can go for some skill certification. They can go for some sort of internship. They can have their own startup because in each and every college, even though engineering colleges or even non-engineering colleges, there is a lot of buzz about startups, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this era, choosing a higher study, a master's degree, a master's in business administration, how the one should make a choice because it's there's a lot of noise of or I should say there are a lot of options for students.
Okay. So I think here comes the way of your personal goals and what do you want to do in your life. So for
Right.
some me, I wanted to get into strategy roles that as I mentioned earlier. So the
Right.
only to get into those kind of roles was MBA. Whereas
Hmm.
for someone who wants to be, let's say, he's done computer science engineering and he wants to domain get into tech kind of field and he wants to
Right.
dominate, for him or her, that MBA might not make much of a sense. For him, an additional certification course in some kind of coding that would make a lot of sense, or gaining more experience would be beneficial for him or her. So I think this completely depends on individual goals, what they want to do in life, and based on that, I think they need to take the decision or a call on what they want to pursue.
Right. Right. I agree. What do you think, like even though if the one wants to have their own startup,
Yeah.
even if the one want to have his or her own startup, doing an MBA does it make path easier, or if you have thought of having your own business, just start with your business.
I think MBA is not a necessary thing for doing a startup. We are seeing today in our country itself in India, a lot of people have build unicorn startups and without having an MBA degree. But yeah,
Right.
if you want to take funding from investors, an MBA degree from a top B school will definitely give you an edge there because of the filter that happens at every level.
Right.
Because this
Right.
country is huge with a lot of population around,
Correct.
so it makes a lot of sense for someone who has done an MBA from top B school, and if he's doing a startup, he might get better deals, or he might be actually filtered among other candidates.
Right.
Might get more access to better people who are sitting there having similar kind of alma mater. So it will
Right.
definitely, yeah. But it is not necessary to pursue an MBA to have a startup. But there are pros and cons, and one needs to weigh it equally before choosing the path.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
mean that doing an MBA from top B school will help one who want to have his own startup to raise funds or to bypass the queue
Yeah.
and get a chance faster than the um, other one who are not holding that kind of qualification.
Right.
That's great. Okay. Um, with you having or studying in IIM Udaipur and having a cohort of mix of people, maybe from pharma background or commerce background or BBA, business administration background, or somebody having experience in different field or qualification. Talking to them in with your experience, what is the biggest myth student have about MBA?
So I think the biggest myth is that MBA, if you do an MBA from top B school, you will get a very good job. People usually look at the average salary and they feel that they might get that. However, it is not true for entire batch. Someone might get way above average, someone might get below average. So
Right,
that's the biggest myth going on right now because whenever, even when I was an aspirant, I used to look at the placement reports of the B school before joining them, which companies are coming there, what is the average salary that is being paid. But I
right.
think there's parameters to look at apart from placements. Obviously, they are very important from a candidate point of view. But the kind of exposure that you need from an MBA B school, you need to have a broader perspective and look at multiple parameters.
Okay, great. So, I mean, it happens in the college project as well, and then in real life when you're in corporate. That if a team has to perform, not always, no, all five fingers are not equal. So somebody may participate, may not participate, or somebody contribution is higher. So I understand. So that is something which students should not expect. Great. Okay. Um, you also mentioned about the company's placement record or college placement record or something. So let's get to the question of ROI.
Yeah.
How important is to think about ROI to choose any B school? Is ROI really a factor to look at, or the journey matters most?
So, in my opinion, ROI is something that you do MBA for a longer vision. It is not something that you expect immediate rewards straight out of college. So, I think ROI is not important parameter to look at if you are joining a particular B school. It should not be a factor of consideration, or I would say broadly, it should not be a factor of rejecting a particular B school. If a B school is providing a lesser ROI initially, but your long term goal is something else, and if it is fulfilling that long term goal, you should definitely go for that and look for those parameters. And ROI is something that you just look calculated 2 years down the line, but you need to understand that a student is doing an MBA for his career. He will be having a career of around 30 years after doing his MBA
Right,
mostly.
right,
So he should look at that particular vision that in those 30 years, how much he is going to grab that opportunity. I think that is the real ROI of any B school. Rather than just looking at the financial number that I am paying X amount of fees and I will be getting Y lakhs of placement. That is not
right.
an, in my opinion. You need to look at the longer picture, and then you will get a sense of that how important an MBA would add credibility to your life. I think that is more important rather than just
More
considering
important.
the aspect of it.
Yes, yes, sir. I totally agree with you. That's true. Because
Hmm.
looking at the short-term ROI um, may not be the right way of looking at the MBA as a degree. Not only the B school, but MBA as a degree.
So you need to look the ROI in a way that how many opportunities is this degree going to open for you. Let's say for an example,
Yes.
if you are not doing an MBA,
Mhm.
X amount of opportunities are blocked for you. And if you are going for the particular course, the money that you are investing, how many doors that opportunity is opening for you. I think that is
True.
the of calculating an ROI from an MBA perspective. I think that will make a
Mhm.
lot of sense. Only looking at the fees and average placements is not the correct way of calculating ROI.
Right.
Uh,
Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, coming back to your CAT preparation journey, Meet.
yeah.
How was your routine? How was your daily routine that time?
So I was having a job when I was preparing for CAT. So my most of the time was spent during my job itself. So
Okay.
how I used to do studies that 2 hours before going for the job, I used to study, and 2 hours at the evening after coming
Mhm.
back. So I used to dedicatedly give around 4 hours every day for my CAT preparation, divided among all the three sections. So that is how much time I used to put. And during weekends, I used to give mock tests and do their analysis. So this is usually how I used to spread my preparation journey.
So if we summarize, so in a week, how many hours were you studying?
So if you consider the preparation part, it would be for 5 days. And if you consider 4 hours on an average on daily basis, so 20 hours of preparation in a week.
Per week.
And on weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I used to give mock test. But also
Mhm.
initially, so I started my preparation in June. The exam is in November. So initially, I used to study 4 hours during weekdays, Monday to Friday. Saturday also I had working, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
I used to come back home from office around 4 p.m. in the evening. So I used to study for a couple of hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. So on an average, you are looking on a weekly basis 20 hours on weekdays and 6 hours on weekends. So 26 hours a week. That is
All
something.
right. Okay, that's quite a commitment. I hope the students watching this podcast should not get scared. I mean, they should take this as a motivation because somebody like you who is working in a big company with good responsibility and then giving 26 hours per week, giving 26 hours per week for preparation for CAT exam preparation is a kind of commitment required.
I think
Great.
it is manageable for the working professional as well. I think it is very important to block your time. So let's say,
Right.
for example, 2 hours in the morning were blocked. So let's say, for
Hmm.
example, even if I get late from the office sometimes, I have already prepared for 2 hours in the morning before going to the office. So I know that two
Right.
hours are already secured. Even though if some
Okay.
I have more work at the office, I have a confidence in myself that I only need to pull 2 more hours. If you keep
Uh-huh.
your schedule after the office of your studying hours, then it will be very difficult for you to cope up. So it is
Right.
that you split your time, and sometimes it is not easy for someone like me who has been a student way before, and so I distributed my time in such a way that it is not distracted in a way. So 2 hours is
Right.
something you can do at a stretch, but if you tell someone who is working and is not been a student for a long time, if you tell him
Hmm.
that study 4 hours at a stretch, it is going to be a very difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of this 26 hours, when you say per week, out of this, how many hours were part of coaching and how many hours were your self-study?
Yeah.
Like if you divide into ratio, out of this 26 hours, how many hours you used to take classes and how many hours you used to give to yourself for study?
Okay, so I had taken the weekend coaching, so the
Okay.
class on Saturday on Sunday only. So from Monday to Friday, I make sure that I used to study for 20 hours, that is 4 hours a day. And on weekend, I had classes on Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So initially, since the syllabus was not completed, so Saturday and Sundays were occupied by the coaching institutes, And
Right.
after the syllabus was completed, those hours were given dedicatedly to the mock tests that I used to give. So I can say 20 hours of preparation and 6 hours of coaching. That
All
was
right. So it's
I used to do.
great. So it's 6 hours on an average, 6 to 7 hours on an average for coaching,
Yeah, yeah.
and 20 hours for self study.
That's, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So eventually, self study has to be given more importance, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Because you need
Okay.
to solve a greater amount of problems and questions in order to get that speed and everything. Coaching
Right.
are used for building your concepts and covering the syllabus. Think
Right.
after that you need to put your equal amount of effort from your end as well. Just attending the
Right.
class won't give you that edge uh,
Correct.
compared to other candidates.
Right. Coaching can coaching keeps you disciplined
Yeah,
and in schedule that you have to complete this much in this week. So if you have if you can build that kind of self discipline, then self study plays very very vital role in your exam preparation. Right. Okay. What was the lowest point meet during your exam preparation? What was the lowest point when you required that boost
yeah.
from maybe say from parents, from friends, from your teachers?
So I think this was the time, I think around October 2023,
Mm-hmm.
uh, of the mock test that was conducted by an all India test taking agency. So I scored very less percentile in that. So I scored only around 70 percentile. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, doing really good and was just 1 month away from the exam. This
Mm-hmm.
was the last week of October itself. So I scored very poor in that particular mock test, and my entire confidence was very down, and I was feeling very low at that point of time. And
Mm-hmm.
I just talked to my mom after that particular test that I have been doing very good. I have been putting a lot of hours for this exam, and
Right.
said this test just ends up everything here. I was feeling very underconfident at that point of time, and I thought that maybe this isn't for me. But
Mm-hmm.
then I talked to my mentors as well, where I used to take coaching, and they also told me that it is a normal, it's a part of the process. So
Right.
there will be times where even if you are preparing really hard and you are solving questions, there will be sometimes that cat will surprise you and you will not score good marks in your mock test. That might happen, and it happens to majority of the candidates. There will be a bottom point in your entire preparation journey. You will not see a straight linear line. It will be sinusoidal wave. So you need to be prepared for that.
Right.
And after that, I analyzed that particular mock for 8 hours. So I think I noted down each and everything, that how much time I took for a particular question, where did I went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
why was my strategy not executed, where did I make mistake. So everything I noted down in an excel, and then I analyzed it for an 8 hours, and that gave a lot of clarity to me, that where
Right.
the were there, which are the points that I need to work upon. There were some topics that I figured out from that mock test that they are not my strong forte, so I need to prepare them. So I think I got a lot of insights from the analysis, and something I would like to tell it to aspirants as well. So whenever you're not scoring good in that particular mock, you need to analyze it thoroughly. You need to note down each and every minute details of that particular mock, because that is something which will be most helpful rather than just solving new questions. Once you are into the mock phase strategy, you need to analyze the mocks. I think that is very important. And after doing an 8 hours of analysis, the next day I gave one more mock, and
Mm-hmm.
I scored around 96 percentile in that. So I think that
Nice.
from underconfidence to getting that confidence back again, I think it took around 1 week. So that within that 1 week, I was not able to give any mocks. I was very afraid during that time, that what if I score below this again. So for 1 week,
Right.
proper analysis, take a break out from the preparation. I think that is also one thing very important. You need
Mm-hmm.
to take breaks between the preparation. You need to switch off and get out of your comfort zone, and again get back in for the preparation mode. I think that is also very important.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. The way you have explained doing analysis of a mock paper, I'm sure that must be a mock of 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
where you have spent 8 hours for the analysis. And I believe that that's where the 95 plus percentilers are different from the rest of the students.
yeah,
And I hope more and more students understand that it's
yeah,
not only getting the right answer, it's not only just passing by the mock. You should
yeah.
analyze, you should give more time to the analysis. I totally agree with you. Have you ever felt like quitting in between?
I think since my journey part was very small, so I started the preparation in around June, and the exam was in November. I had to cover a lot of syllabus. So there wasn't a time that I felt that I wanted to quit because I wanted to get to the good top B school.
Right.
So that wasn't the case with me. Any time that I wanted to quit the exam, except for that one particular mock that I told.
Incident, okay.
So for during that time, I just was feeling underconfident that I might not be able to clear CAT this year, and maybe this year isn't for me. But just being quitting, that wasn't the scene with me.
Yeah. I think what I understand from you is it was not even in your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Quitting was not even. I won't say that it was not even an option. I would say ऐसा कभी सोचा ही नहीं कि क्विट का भी कोई एक एक्शन होता है.
Yeah, yeah.
So quitting was not even in your thoughts, right? So that's perfect. And tell us the moments where you felt quite encouraged during your preparation journey. That okay, this is something. Okay, meet Mehta. You're going in the right direction.
I think if I talk about one thing is that consistently hitting good scores on mock test is the biggest booster in terms of confidence. I think
Right.
this is where comes. I think around in the first week of November, I was giving decent amount of mock tests. So I used to give three every week in the month of November. So I was consistently scoring about 90 percentile in mock tests, and I have heard these toppers talking that if you are scoring about 90 percentile in the last month of the preparation, I think you are in a good space and you are doing decent and you can expect a good score. So I think that was the encouragement part for me, scoring good marks in mock test and the sectional test that I used to give. So I think that was the self motivation and more encouragement to study harder for CAT, and I think that is the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you started your day one for CAT preparation and the first mock you have taken, the first mock, not just to see how is the CAT exam, but a serious mock attempt where you are expecting the right reflection of me. So from
Yeah.
your day one of CAT preparation to that mock, how did you start? Like how did you begin with it? Like what was your first few steps? पहले syllabus समझा या पहले difficulty level समझा या फिर you just started with it, you started with your favorite topic, you started with your weakness first. क्या किया उससे पहले?
So I had given CAT 1 year prior to my preparation just to know that how much I am knowing of. Just wanted to understand the structure of the exam and how is the preparation needed. So I had given
Mm-hmm.
it in 2022. So I scored around 84, yeah, 83 kind of percentile in that without any
Okay.
preparation. Just I think I had taken couple of mocks before the exam, so I think 1 month of preparation might be there in 2022. So I was aware about the kind of knowledge is required to clear this exam after giving
Okay.
that so I just wanted to cover the syllabus and understand the topics that are going to come for CAT exam. So I
Right.
started preparing again for CAT 2023 back in June 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I took around 2.5 to 3 months. So I started giving mock test early in first week of October. So that is
Okay.
where I started giving mock test, and that was my first mock in first week of October, and I scored around 80, 81 kind of percentile in that particular mock. And from
Mm-hmm.
there, it was just to build on it and identify the mistakes, finalizing the exam strategy because CAT is not just about knowing your syllabus, it is more about strategy. So if you have your
Mhm.
strategy in place, if you have cracked your strategy after trial and testing in multiple mocks, I think you are good to go, because CAT is not about solving each and every questions. It is just about leaving the right questions and attempting the ones that are very easy to score, and something that you have already studied and you're confident about it. So I think initially 10-15 mocks was just about building that right strategy, looking for something that is working for me and something that is not working for me, and not and avoiding the things that are not working for me. So I think that was very
Right.
important. Initial 10 mocks out of the 40 mocks that I gave.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So, from your day one to your first serious mock attempt, you said that you are aware about the exam pattern.
Yeah.
So, somebody who's not aware about the exam pattern, they should first look at the exam pattern, right?
Yeah.
Then you also mentioned that they should know what syllabus they need to cover. So before they start walking, they should know their goal, their destination,
Right.
right? And then after you cover the syllabus, then you started giving the mocks, and then you just kept on building on that,
Yeah.
right? You also said that a selection of question during mock or in the exam as well. So now, how do you define easy questions versus hard questions? How do you define? How Meet define that?
So again, so this comes with a lot of practice. So whichever coaching institute that you join, you will get a lot
Right,
of practice questions from that, or you also get online right these days. So you solve those questions and you understand that what are your strong areas and what are your weak areas. So leaving a question or attempting a question is completely independent on the particular candidate, depends on his comfort area. So let's say for example, for me, arithmetic and algebra was very strong for me, so I used to attempt those questions initially in quant. But let's say for example, a candidate is weak in arithmetic, so he needs to understand that he is not good in those areas, so he need not solve that in the first round of the attempt that he is doing for a particular section. So I think that
right,
is important, and it comes with a lot of practice and lot of testing during your mocks.
right,
So you give lot of mocks, you will definitely get to know that how do you leave a question. And after analysis of those mocks, let's say for an example, you have taken a question that I will be solving this, you have given 3 minutes and still you have not solved that question, you are leaving it unattempted. Then
right,
after this, you will get that I have wasted my 3 minutes, sir, and you will get to know that these kind of questions I need to avoid in my future
mhm,
mock or in my actual exam. So I think the only way to understand yourself is by doing a decent amount of practice, understanding yourself, your strong areas, your weak areas, where you are comfortable, and also depending on the level of difficulty. So sometimes if I'm not comfortable in a particular section, let's say if I'm not comfortable in geometry but an easy questions comes there, then you need to also have an understanding that I need to at least prepare that if an easy questions come from any topic, I will be able to solve in the actual exam. Yeah.
okay, okay, that's great. Okay. Uh, when you started your preparation, again, we'll talk about those 3 months, the first 3 months. Your focus was more on the accuracy, or it was more on the speed?
So initially, when I was solving questions, it was more about accuracy, because
Mhm.
speed can be something that you can build up
Yeah,
later in the mocks
right,
as well while you're practicing.
right,
But CAT is an exam of accuracy. I believe that it is not an exam of speed. So if you're accurate enough, even if you solve 7-8 questions these days in CAT in one particular section, you will score very decent percentile. So, and accuracy is something that it cannot be built overnight. So even if you are solving practice questions, you need to be accurate in that. Let's say you are solving it in practice, and even if you're taking 4 minutes for solving a question, but you are solving it accurately, then the chances are that after a month, those 4 minutes will be, it will be 3 minutes or two and a half
right,
minutes. That can be
right,
done, but you cannot
right,
solve a question faster and be accurate. I think that is where you need to figure out that
right.
not something that can be built.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And people also talk about shortcuts. Now, I'll tell you from a teacher's prospect. I'll tell you from a teacher point of view. we are solving, me as a teacher, we are solving these kind of questions from last 10 years, or maybe, I think for me it's more than 15 years.
Hmm.
So after looking at the question itself, I realized that, okay, this shortcut may work for this particular question. But I'm also trying to make student understand that do not rely on shortcut, because the kind of questions you get in the CAT exam, these 22 questions from quant, out of them maybe say one or two you can solve by using shortcut. Rest you have to have strong foundation to crack those questions. So what is your point of view about shortcuts?
I think it comes with a lot of experience. So, as mentioned, this lot of mentors from big institutes are claiming that we teach shortcuts to our students. But I think in an exam like CAT, I think the shortcuts would work in one or two questions, and that is also something that if you are very confident about it, you might be able to get it. So
Right,
these guys are changing the question and patterns of this particular questions every year,
right, correct,
and not very easy to apply shortcut in any question, according to me, in my opinion, what I have experienced over the couple of years that I have given CAT.
right,
If you are confident about that if you can use the shortcut, then definitely you should go ahead if it's a saving time for you.
of
But
course,
having a strong foundation and basics in place will definitely help you crack CAT rather than just relying on shortcuts. You should understand shortcuts, but you also need to learn the long way of solving the question. So that
true,
is when,
true,
if you know both the ways of solving the questions, you will be able to solve the questions. Whether or not,
right.
if you are applied a shortcut or not, it's a different thing. But the main goal or ultimatum is to solve that particular question in a given point of time. So I think that is very important, and I would suggest that not to rely too much on shortcuts. Just
I agree.
keep focus on understanding the basics and concept of solving that particular question.
So let's talk about your journey in IIM. So how was your first day of IIM? The pehla din, first day of IIM, and then you know that everybody is smart, everybody is intelligent, everybody has cracked this exam, which is one of the hardest exam in India, and I suppose in world as well. One of the hardest exam. ये सब वो क्रैक करके आए, सब या तो मेरे बराबर या फिर मुझसे बेहतर होंगे. So
Right.
with that feeling, how was your first day of IIM?
So typically, what happens at IIMs or any top B school is that when you go in for the first day, the registration process is there. So you need to reach the campus and collect your books and materials that is being provided by the institute.
Right.
So I think the first day was full about interaction with different people coming from various backgrounds, understanding how was their journey, how did they land up here. So I think my first day was typically spent by interacting with batchmates of mine who were also having a same kind of journey as me. I got my room at IIM, so was very excited about it. That I had never stayed at hostel before, so this was the very first experience, and being at an IIM was very uh, inspirational for me. So I talked to a few of my cluster mates, who are having the same hostel. So they were in the same room with me. So I talked with them, interacted with them. So it was
Mhm.
really, and also got to know what was their journey, what made them to come here, and so it was kind of an interactive day. So I think the first day was looking at the I am as an institute, looking at the campus, exploring the campus, and
Right.
a lot of photographs. This is what I remember from the first day. Nothing
Mhm.
for the first day, but the experience of entering an IM is itself will give you goosebumps, definitely, for sure. If you have worked hard for it and you're going in an institute of your
Right.
dream, it will
Right.
definitely be worth. And I was feeling very confident and inspirational when I entered IIM Udaipur, and I will never forget that memory. My parents had also come with me to accompany me, to drop
All right.
me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a really good experience.
Okay. Now, how intense is the competition inside the IIM? So, is it like because I've seen students who burn out during the exam preparation itself,
Yeah,
and they're done with studies, and then when they get into the IIM, when they get into the college, they realize that, okay, here also I have to work hard. So how is the competition inside IIM?
So initially during the first term at IIM, it is very competitive and it is very academically stressful. So
Hmm.
there are various things attached to it. So initially in the first term, there are a lot of things going on. So you will need to prepare your CVs for your summer placements. You will have inductions for the different clubs and committees that you would like to join, and at the same time you are given a case study that is 22-page long, and you have to read it for your first class as a pre-read.
Oh,
And I cannot forget this experience. And because before this no one has done this concept of pre-read, so I it
right.
was new to me that you have to read a particular case, understand the case, understand why that company has taken a particular decision.
Okay.
And the next day, if you are not able to, if the professor calls your name and asks you something from the case, and if you are
Okay.
not able to answer it, then in front of the entire class, it will you will be tagged as that he is the someone who is not doing pre-read. So I think it's very
Right.
competitive. Everyone is afraid of this, that professor might catch you and he might ask questions from the case. So if you have not read the case, then it's going to be very difficult for you to comprehend in that particular class. It is very competitive because there are marks for IIM is an institute. It promotes everything. So it will promote class participation, it will promote exams, it will have midterms, end terms, projects, everything. So it's continuous evaluation. It is something
Right.
that you have to be on your toes every now and then. And
Hmm.
it is something that if you are not scoring decent in one particular component, then your entire CGP or grade might be affected. So
Right.
very competitive. You have to be on your toes every now and then. You need to be very focused, prepare very hard for the class, and after the class,
Absolutely.
you will get some assignments and projects that you need to do in a group, and the group
Right.
will be random. So you also don't know that particular person with whom you have to do a project and
Right.
assignment, make presentation. So during the first year at IIM, you have presentation for each and every subject. So by the
Hmm.
time you end your first year, you might have given around 30-35 presentations. So
Yeah.
your stage fright is really gone. So
Right.
be- you this is something that you cannot avoid. You have to give presentation because there are marks associated to it.
Right.
So you
Right.
have to prepare and also deliver it in a manner that is very good to the professor as well. He feels that they have put in the hard work, and it is something that is valuable for his time as well. So I think it
Right.
is very competitive initially in the first term, because you also have to prepare your CVs for the summer placements, and you need to
Right.
build the pointers, take help of seniors, and prepare your CV.
Hmm.
Also give mock interviews for your summer placements. And all of
Right.
things are going on, and with this, you also have to focus on your academics. So there are multiple things going on. Yeah.
Right. Right. How are the placements really inside the college? Like, is it overhyped or it is justified? कैसा है मतलब? How are the placements?
So I don't know about other institutes. I can talk about IIM Udaipur. So IIM Udaipur
Yes.
follows the audited placements. So whatever you see on the placement report is been audited by a third party, and only I think 3 or 4 IIMs have started doing this. But IIM Udaipur is doing this since last 7-8 years. So all the placement figures that you see on the placement reports are genuinely audited, and the figures are actual as mentioned in the reports. The name of the companies all have been audited. You can also see the distribution of salary, like base salary, joining bonus, etc., in the placement report. So I think they are very accurate, and you will get a lot of opportunities in IIMs. Especially, there are certain companies who open case competitions only for few institutes. So if
Right.
you are at top B schools, you have that opportunity to crack those case competitions. Apart from there will be a regular set of companies that are coming in for summer placements and final placements. But apart from that, this is something that a lot of students, including myself, have missed out during the first year of their colleges, cracking the case competitions. So you have lot of good case competitions, and the only way, sometimes it's the only way. Let's say I want to get into TAS, that is Tata Administrative Services. The only way I am Udaipur student can get into that is by cracking that particular case competitions.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
Okay.
these are the opportunities that will open for you once you join a top B school, and it is very phenomenal that if you are putting in a hard work for that particular case, com will definitely crack it. And very few students are doing it because you have to manage your academics and other stuff. Doing an IIM and this is something that is an additional thing you have to do. But if you are
Mhm.
able to sneak in that time, I think definitely it's worth it.
Okay, great. It was quite insightful, Meet, your preparation journey, your IIM journey. I should say memories of the institute, the campus. It's
Yeah.
quite insightful to share with our audience and the students. Uh, Now, before we sum up the podcast, I would like to have a rapid fire round with you. Which was more challenging for you, your college exams or CAT exam?
I think CAT exam was more. It is very easy
Challenging.
to pass, at least pass the exam in an IIM, but cracking CAT is something that is very difficult compared to
Right. Okay. Depending on coaching or self-study.
self study.
Self-study. The toughest one. Which section was the toughest one? VRC, Quant, or DILR?
BRC.
What is the difference between one line for the difference between 95%, 95 plus percentiler and the rest?
I think accuracy.
Accuracy. Okay. Your study style was more planned or spontaneous?
Planned.
You preferred studying time in morning or late night? I think
Morning.
so you preferred both. You
But
just
but if
mentioned
you,
it.
if I have to choose one among both, then I will say morning because before your day starts, you're done with your preparations. I think that is very important.
Okay. You mentioned that you should also take breaks. Like,
Yeah,
not don't keep on having that,
yeah, yeah.
continuous hammering on your brain. So during those breaks, what was your favorite activity? Watching any web series, movies, music, or just spend some time in silence?
So I used to spend my a lot of time with my family, going for a night walk with my parents. I think that was very something that used to freshen me up a lot. And also, I used to play sports. So I used to play table tennis to de-stress my preparations.
All right. Referring to the notes prepared by others, books, or your own handwritten notes.
Own handwritten notes.
All right. Looking back, CAT journey was tough or transformation?
Transformation. I think it makes you very disciplined and it teaches you a lot of things. Not only just cracking the exam is the only ultimate goal, but it teaches you a lot of things. You become more matured. You take smart decisions. As an individual, I have seen a lot of change in myself before starting the preparation of CAT and after cracking the exam. I think there has been a lot of transformation.
All right. If you have to start again from today for CAT exam, will you use same approach or different approach?
I think same approach.
Great. One word you want to give it to CAT. One word for CAT. मैं फिर से बोलता हूँ. One word for CAT.
Challenging.
All right. Great. 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 Thanks, Meet. It was great having this podcast with you, and I really appreciate and uh, again thank you uh, for your time. And you agreed very quickly and without even knowing uh, who are we or uh, without even knowing the do's and don'ts. You agreed for this podcast. Uh, and you said that I want to do it for the students, for the people who are preparing today, because even I used to search such kind of content when I was preparing for myself.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate the kind of contribution you have done during this podcast. We all from ViaCareers team, we wish you the best. Uh, uh, you already have great, good career, but we wish to have tenfolds of what you have right now.
Yeah.
Um, so
I
thanks,
also
thanks for that.
loved my time here. It was great talking with you all, and I hope the student community is definitely helped by watching this video, and they are able to take out something from this podcast. And really looking forward to collaborate with you in the future. It was great interacting with you.
All right, Meet. Okay, thank you once again. Okay, तो यहाँ होता है हमारा पॉडकास्ट का end. All right, guys. So we had Meet Mehta with us, and IIM Udaipur alumni and CAT 97 percentile. If you haven't started your CAT preparation yet or want to practice more questions, then please check out our courses on ViaCareers.com. I will provide you the course link in the description. We offer self-study courses with just for rupees 1,500 per module, along with one-on-one doubt solving and mentorship throughout your journey. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such content on CAT preparation. Once again, my name is Shah Manawat signing off. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep learning. Bye bye.